What's up, trainers? I'm Nick, and this episode is going to be a tutorial on how to find the exact IVs of all your Pokemon at the same time. If you have no idea what IVs are, let me explain. They're essentially a hidden stat that can raise the power of your Pokemon. A Pokemon with higher IVs will have higher maximum CP. If you want a full explanation, you can check out this video here. Before we go any further, I have to give credit to Reddit user Alatar1313 for writing the original guide that helped me understand this method. If it wasn't for his guide, I would have no idea how to do this. After our last video about research on IVs, a lot of you guys asked for a video tutorial on how to use this method, so here it comes. I just want to warn you guys, this is a really complicated process. The way that it works is by setting up a proxy that reads network traffic between your app and Niantic servers to intercept data and find the exact IVs of your Pokemon. It's going to require some pretty technical steps, so if you're not up to it, don't feel bad, you can always use the IV calculators that I've listed in the description. To get started, there's two things you need to download. The first is Charles Proxy, which is available at charlesproxy.com. Links for everything will be in the description down below. Charles is free to download for a 30-day trial. It'll have some annoying pop-ups asking you to buy the full version, but you can just ignore those. There might be other proxy software that you can use, but for this tutorial, this is the one that I was taught. The second thing you'll need is a copy of this IV parser spreadsheet. There's a link to make a copy straight to your Google Drive in the description. Once you've installed Charles Proxy, you'll need to configure Wi-Fi settings on your phone to run through the proxy. This differs between devices, but on Android 6.0, you'll press and hold on the network you want to use, hit Modify Network, open the advanced options, and set up the proxy. The proxy hostname is your computer's IP address. On a Mac, you can find this by going to System Preferences and clicking on Network. It'll show you your IP address right here. To find your IP address on Windows, you'll want to hit the Start button, type CMD to open Command Prompt, and in Command Prompt type ipconfig. Look for the entry that's named IPv4 address, and that's your local IP address. So now I enter that address as the proxy host name, and the port is 8888. Hit save and you're good to go. Now back in Charles, you need to configure SSL for the proxy. To do this, click Help, go to SSL Proxying, and install Charles Root Certificate. Now, back on your phone, you need to install the certificate. To do this, you go to charlesproxy.com/getssl. It's going to prompt you to download a file, which you'll do. I'm just going to hit Replace File to show you guys how it works. Once it's downloaded, hit Open. Name the certificate whatever you want. I'm naming it Charles. Hit OK, and it's installed. Back in Charles, you need to set up proxying settings for Pokemon Go. To do this, you hit Proxy and go to SSL Proxying Settings. I already have the address here, but I'll remove it and add it again to show you guys. What you want to enter is pgorelease.nianticlabs.com, and the port is an asterisk, meaning it can be any port. Once that's done, hit OK. Back on your phone, you'll want to open Pokemon Go. Back in Charles, you'll want to scroll down the list on the side and find the address we entered earlier, pgorelease.nianticlabs.com. Expand that list, open the folder with numbers for a name, and you're going to want to choose one of these RPC entries. Usually it's the first or second. On the right side, click on the Response tab, and you want to choose Hex down at the bottom. Charles will crash if it defaults to HTML, so in this case we need to restart Charles. Once you restart Charles, to prevent it from crashing again, choose a different entry on your list, hit Response, and change it to Hex. Now you can go back into pgorelease, open the folder, choose the RPC, and it should load straight into Hex. To find the right entry, you're going to want to look here on the right side and look for your trainer name. Once you find your trainer name, you'll know you have the right entry. Now, back on the left side, right-click on the name of the response you're looking at, and choose View Response as Protocol Buffers. Click OK on the box, and then choose Protobuf Text down at the bottom. Click inside the box, and press Ctrl-A or Command-A to select everything, and copy it. Now it's time to go back to the spreadsheet that we downloaded earlier. Click the top of the A column to select everything, and delete it. Now choose cell A1, and paste the data you copied from Charles. You'll see a progress bar over here on the right side as the spreadsheet works to decode everything you just pasted in. Once it's done and the bar disappears, click on the Output tab at the bottom of the spreadsheet. And there it is, a list of all your Pokemon with their CP, HP, individual values, and percent perfection. You can click the arrows at the top of the columns to sort, and now I have my Pokemon listed by their percent perfection. So that's it. I know it's confusing and you might need to watch it a few times to get it right, but right now it's the fastest and most accurate way to get your Pokemon's IVs. I've linked to the original text tutorial in the description, so if reading along helps you follow instructions, go ahead and check that out. Hopefully in the future someone will create a script or a program that does all this automatically, but for now, this is the best we have. If you have any questions about the tutorial or even about IVs in general, go ahead and leave them in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you in the next episode. This also opens up the possibility for a lot of things that people have been asking for, like battles, in-game chat, or even notifications.
Speaking of notifications, there was an app released today called Poké Notify, and it sends you notifications of the Pokemon that are nearby without having to have the Pokemon Go app open. And the way that it works is you go in and you select which Pokemon you want to receive notifications about.
This is cool because this is something that we kind of expected would be a feature of the game to begin with, but I have a few issues with the way it works.